of the individuals have some schedule challenges, but we anticipate that all will be available. So now, as our featured speakers roll in, I'll go and kick it off with some formal introductions. To my immediate left, the first employee of Major League Soccer, our Deputy Commissioner, Mr. Mark Abbott, joining us today. Mark? An individual who is familiar to everybody in the Bay Area and Major League Soccer, the San Jose Earthquakes president, Dave Cabell. Dave? It's a pleasure to have with us today the mayor of San Jose, Mr. Sam Liccardo. And joining us from Arsenal Football Club in London is their head of partnership development, Mr. Alex Wicks. Alex? And a gentleman who is an icon in the global football community, an Arsenal legend, and a guy who competed as the captain of the Major League Soccer All-Star team in 2009 when he was a member of the Seattle Sounders. He's now an ambassador with Arsenal and a part of their academy system where he's coaching the under-15s at Arsenal, Mr. Freddie Ljungberg. And then last but not least, one of the great partners of Major League Soccer and a massive partner with the AT&T MLS All-Star game. AT&T's Vice President of External Affairs, Mr. Mark Blakeman. Mark. So without further ado, to get things kicked off, we are going to actually start with a little video that's a lot of fun. People out in the social media world have seen this, but for those of you here in San Jose, take a look at the video screens. It's kind of fun here.
Dovremmo giocare per la partita All-Star quest'anno? I don't know.
Nope. No.
Beat them.
Questa è casa di Fumo Friends. Hey, Lolo, have a look at this.
You all right, mate?
You should come visit us this summer.
Tour to the US to play the MLS All-Stars.
Caca.
That sounds good.
Yeah, mate, that sounds great. We'll have to check with the boss and we'll get back to you.
Tell Mesut he owes me dinner.
How do you feel about a tour in California this year?
What? Let's do it.
Sounds great, but we have to check with the boss.
Boss, can we go to US this summer?
Why not?
Yes.
All right, full credit to the players from Arsenal Football Club and the MLS players. They had a lot of fun with that video. So we'll kick it off with our first speaker, Major League Soccer's Deputy Commissioner, Mr. Mark Abbott. Mark.
Thank you, Dan. It's my pleasure to formally announce that the opponent for the 2016 AT&T MLS All-Star game will be Arsenal Football Club. Right away! We're thrilled to be able to welcome Arsenal this summer for a number of reasons. Not only are they one of the top clubs in the world and continues our tradition of having high-level competition for the AT&T MLS All-Star game, but there are a number of deep connections between Arsenal and our league. Stan Kroenke, the owner of Arsenal, also owns our Colorado Rapids, the host of last year's AT&T MLS All-Star game. Ivan Gazidis, the CEO of Arsenal, was the longtime Deputy Commissioner of Major League Soccer and spent 15 years of his career with us. And great players like Freddie Ljungberg and Thierry Henry played both for Arsenal and for Major League Soccer. And for these reasons, it's particularly fitting that we have this club join us this summer. Days like today and what's going to happen this summer happen for a number of reasons and through the efforts of a number of people. First, I'd like to thank the city of San Jose and the community that supported us here. Mayor Liccardo, Patricia Ernstrom from the Sports Authority. Without their support, we wouldn't be able to be here today. I'd also like to thank all of the fans who have come out and sold out this beautiful stadium week in and week out, supporting the Quakes. It's fitting that this All-Star game will be played on July 28th, which is 15 years to the day, the last time that we had the All-Star game here in San Jose. Of course, we didn't have this beautiful stadium then, and it really is a tribute to this community and to the efforts of a number of people like John Fisher, Lou Wolf, and Keith Wolf, and Dave Cavill that got this stadium built. It's the kind of stadium that the fans in the South Bay and entire Bay Area deserve, and it's going to be a tremendous home for our All-Star game this summer. We also couldn't have the AT&T All-Star game, obviously, without AT&T. And we thank them. They've been a long-time supporter. In fact, the very first supporter of our league, back before the league began, was AT&T, one of the first agreements that we ever did. And it's really been amazing to watch how this event has grown. In the early years, it was a single game, and that's all we did. And now, through the efforts of AT&T and our other partners, we have a week-long calendar and roster of events. And so it's not just about the game, but it's a variety of things that take place throughout the community. We have the format where we play our All-Stars against a top club because we think that makes it a very competitive game, something unique sometimes in All-Star games. And so both clubs recognize it's a friendly, but our All-Stars, and I'm sure Arsenal will come out to play a competitive game. And so I asked Dominic Kinnear earlier today, I said, we want to see what kind of edge we can give to the All-Stars. What advice would you give to our All-Stars? And he said, well, I'll tell you what I'm going to tell them as long as you don't share it with Arsenal. Now, I said, well, Arsenal's got a commitment to fair play. Ivan, treasures when they win the Fair Play Award. And so I'm going to share with you what he said. As you may know, in the Bay Area, particularly in the north, they're the great wine country, Napa Valley, Sonoma Valley. And what Dominic says, the key to winning here is the day before the game, take the club out to all the wineries, go to the tasting rooms, make sure you really participate in that, and that will set you up to win. So if you want to share that with Arsene, I think you'll find that helpful in your efforts this summer. Once again, thank you all for coming out today. We look forward to seeing you this summer. Thank you, Arsenal, for joining us, and good luck against Leicester on Sunday.
All right, moving forward, quick note, the video that you just saw there has already been viewed about 250,000 times in just about 20 minutes, so a lot of excitement around the All-Star game coming July 28th. We're going to turn it over to the president of the San Jose Earthquakes, Mr. Dave Cavill. Dave.
Thanks so much. Another historic day here at Avaya Stadium. We are so proud to welcome Arsenal, who's going to play here on July 28th for the All-Star game against the MLS All-Stars. Our community has a great history of hosting international friendlies. It goes all the way back to Peter Bridgewater, the former president and part owner of the Earthquakes and the Clash. And we did some of the greatest events back in the 80s and 90s. And that builds on that tradition, this event. And we're very excited about it. I think it's going to be a wonderful event for the community, not even just the game, but also the whole week leading up to it. We're going to take downtown San Jose. We're going to create almost like a mini Super Bowl city down there. And we're going to have concerts and events, and AT&T is going to be a great partner in helping put that together. And I think it's going to be something our community can be very proud of. So we're very excited about it. We built Avaya Stadium for events like this. This was the whole impetus to actually have a stadium where we could bring people together across socioeconomic lines to enjoy soccer, the great international sport here in San Jose, a great international city. So we're excited about it. We can't wait to host everyone. We're excited that our season ticket holders get a first crack at the tickets, and it should be a great event. So thank you so much, and we look forward to hosting everyone.
Thank you, Dave. A quick note to our folks here in the Bay Area. This event will be televised in more than 150 countries around the world, so shining a spotlight on not only San Jose, but certainly the Bay Area. Speaking of San Jose, we'll kick it over to the mayor of San Jose, Mr. Sam Liccardo. Sam.
Thank you. Well, good morning. I'm joined by a couple colleagues of mine, Councilmember Magdalena Carrasco and Councilmember Mon Nguyen. And we're all here because we're fired up. This is great, isn't it? All right. I'm going to stop yelling now, I promise. But the reason why I'm so excited, because this stadium and this Earthquakes organization has been such an incredible anchor institution for us here in this city, attracting incredible games, incredible events, and in just its short lifespan here. Most importantly, starting with my wife's birthday, which she celebrated on the opening day of this stadium. We had a big to-do right here on this lawn. I highly recommend it to keep peace with your spouse. I know that we got Copa America coming next door in here in Santa Clara. We got certainly All-Star game coming here. We're going to have, of course, the MLS Cup when the Earthquakes successfully obtain the title this year right here in San Jose, right? We got a lot coming our way. And the secret to all of this is simple. I know because this stadium sells out all the time. But every time I'm at a game, I look around, I see a lot of empty seats, even though it sells out. And I keep wondering what's going on. So we had some crack demographers do some studies about where all those people went. And what they figured out is that with the North America's longest outside bar here, the highest density of human beings in the entire state during an MLS game here is around that bar, about 100 square feet. So the bar has a capacity of about 10,000, I think, and the rest of the stadium holds the rest. And so that is the secret of our success, and we expect to continue to attract amazing events here with the Quakes leadership. One last plug I want to give. Patricia Ernstrom has been an incredible leader for us here in the Valley. Thank you, Patricia, and San Jose Sports Authority. She just got done with a little event they call the Super Bowl. She's going into with the figure skating championships, gymnastics, Olympic trials, incredible events that come here year after year because of Patricia's leadership. I'm grateful for all that she does. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. A couple other quick notes for our folks here in attendance. With Major League Soccer, the format that we have is the home team's coach actually gets to serve as the coach of the All-Star team. And we're fortunate to have the home team's coach right here. Let's give it up for Mr. Dominic Kinnear with the San Jose Earthquakes back there. Dom? All right, Dom. And Dom does have previous All-Star coaching experience. In 2009, he was coach of the All-Stars that went up against Everton in Salt Lake City, and also was part of the preparation for 2010 when the All-Stars played against Manchester United in Houston. Also, I mentioned earlier we were around 250,000 views of that video. We're now at 350,000, and I'm sure it's going to go over 500,000 after these next two speakers. So we're going to turn it over to Arsenal Football Club's Head of Partnership Development, Mr. Alex Wicks. Alex.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks. This is a far cry from London in February, I can tell you that much. Look, firstly, I wanted to say a really big thank you to everyone involved here. So, MLS, thank you to Mark for inviting us in the first place to the city of San Jose. I've only been here for about 24 hours, but it's fantastic, and I know we're going to love coming back here in July, and to Mayor Liccardo. Obviously, to the Earthquakes for providing such a great setting, great venue. Really looking forward to playing here at the stadium later on in the year. And of course to the partners and sponsors, including AT&T, who are here with us today. So, as I said, the team I know are really excited about coming out here. It's going to be the first time that we'll have played on the west coast of the US. We played against the Red Bulls a couple of years ago in a preseason game, and I think the time before that was 1989 against the Mexican team in Miami. So, really excited about getting back out here. We've got a fantastic fan base across the US, and our supporters here, particularly on the West Coast, I know are excited about getting the chance to watch the team play in their own backyard. So really looking forward to the game here in July. We're also then going to go and play a game against Chivas in Los Angeles at the StubHub Center as part of our pre-season tour. So looking forward to both of those games. We know that both games are going to be really competitive, which is exactly what we want for pre-season. And that's going to give the players exactly what they need to prepare for the new season. And fingers crossed, in the All-Star game, we'll do a little bit better than our North London rivals did last year. So look, again, from me, just a big thank you for the invite. Thank you to everyone that's put this together today, and all the hard work that I know that's going to go in over the next 6 months before we come out in July. We're really looking forward to coming back. Thank you.
Thank you, Alex. Moving forward, our next speaker, as I mentioned earlier, he's an Arsenal legend. He was a member of that 2003-2004 team that went unbeaten. You know, certainly iconic in Arsenal history. And also some of you might know him as a former Calvin Klein model and one of the sexiest footballers in the world, Mr. Freddie Ljungberg.
Yeah, sorry about the last bit. Good morning, everyone. So happy to be back in San Jose. It's a lovely city. I was here a few times and had a pleasure to play here. I want to thank as well for the warm welcome I've received since I got to the city, which has been amazing. I'd like to take a special thanks as well to the Mayor, and Liccardo, and the MLS in general. For me, myself, of course, it's special to be back. It was a few years since I played here, but it brings back amazing memories. Me and my family we had some of the best times in our lives when we were here. We were a few years. And I was lucky enough to be the captain of the MLS Stars when I was here. And that doesn't really exist in Europe, so I didn't really know what to expect. But it was an amazing event, and I was very grateful to experience it. So I think, like, when Arsenal gets here, they will be very privileged to play the game because it's special, and we don't experience it when we play in Europe. And if I look at the team, at least when we play, the MLS All-Stars have great teams, to be honest, when I put all the players together. So I think it's been a great game for Arsenal to play at. Very grateful to be here, and thank you very, very much.
Thank you, Freddie. Now the gentleman who's going to bring it home for us, a longtime partner of Major League Soccer, AT&T's Vice President of External Affairs, Mr. Mark Blakeman. Mark.
Well, you will notice my pedigree with Calvin Klein was not mentioned in my introduction, but that's okay. AT&T could not be happier to be part of the All-Star Game. Again, this is our 7th season as the presenting sponsor of this great event, and we have a long-standing history with Major League Soccer and soccer in general here in North America, with our sponsorship of both the women and men's national soccer teams, as well as the Mexican national team. So soccer's in our blood at AT&T, and we're all about connecting our customers and connecting the world and bringing people together with where they work, live, and play, and with their passions. And that's why we've invested, just in California, $2.2 billion in infrastructure investment to bring the latest and greatest technology to this area. So I wanted to thank Major League Soccer for letting us enjoy the sponsorship. It's been a great ride. We'll have a lot of events coming up leading up to the All-Star Game, and we'll talk about those more as we get closer to the date. And just one quick plug, my best friend from high school in Illinois lives in London now, and his preteen son has been emailing me like crazy. I've been sitting there as he's watched this video and wanted me to make sure I wish you good luck with Leicester City this weekend. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Mark. We're now going to go to a brief Q&A session with our journalists here in attendance. So we're going to kick it off here momentarily. We did have a technical snafu with our microphone, so we're going to go organically with our journalists, and I'm going to repeat the question for those who are watching the live stream. So we'll kick it off. Maybe one of our gentlemen down here in front. Who's going to go with the first question here, guys? Okay, right down here, sir. If I could just interject briefly, Freddie. Thank you, Elliot Allman, San Jose Mercury News. The question was how essentially paraphrasing Elliot's great question, preparation, the start of the season, moving forward, and the challenges. So go ahead, Freddie.
Yeah, normally it's a... Do you hear that?
We cannot hear that right now. We've got a few more technical challenges. Sorry about that, Freddie. May I ask, as we work through those technical challenges, could you come up here and answer the question? Thank you, sir.
Yeah, no, when you go into pre-season, it's normally very hard, and it's difficult to get games that really matter. It's just friendlies, and you go kind of through the motions a little bit when you play them. So for us to come in an environment like this, where you can see it really matters, there are a lot of fans, and big spectacle around it, makes a big difference. It's quite nice to prepare and do it in a proper way, and it becomes a competitive game. So yes, I agree with that.
All right, we will continue with our questions from our journalists. We'll check that mic again and see if it works. Let me ask you, though, Freddie, during your tenure with Arsenal, did you ever go outside of Austria for preseason training?
Unfortunately, we didn't, no.
And Austria is beautiful. Here. It's beautiful, but nice to...
No, it's lovely in Austria, but we were there for three weeks in the same hotel for a long time, and it's a bit of a different setup. So I'm a bit envious on the players to be allowed to do this.
All right, thank you. We'll continue with our questions from the folks here in the audience. We have additional questions moving forward. All right, sir.
Mr. Wicks, can you talk about the whole logistical process that Arsenal went through, not just to get the MLS game, but going down to LA? How excited was the Arsenal front office staff to have a California trip and do all the X's and O's?
And just briefly, Alex, for our folks watching the live stream, the question was about the logistics and planning that it takes for this type of preseason tour to the States, and also possibly the excitement from the Arsenal staff back in London.
I'll tackle the second part first. As you can imagine, as soon as we started to communicate internally that we were going to be playing in California, there were lots of people that put their hands up to come along on the trip. We'll have to see who actually makes it. No, in terms of the logistics and the planning that goes behind it, it's a big team back at the club that work on it, and Sue Campbell, our head of events, who's here with us today, her and I are actually out here all this week, and we've been spending time in LA, and we've got a couple of days here now in San Jose to explore the city, find out where the team's going to stay, where the team's going to train. So it's a big operation, and there's then all of the media work that has to go on behind the scenes in the build-up to tour, and then obviously as we're actually on tour itself. So yeah, it takes a lot of people and a lot of planning, but with all the help that we're going to get from the city here, and also from the MLS, I'm sure it'll be seamless.
All right, thank you, Alex. We have time for a couple more questions. If we do, from our journalist out here in attendance, we'll go right down here with next question.
Yeah, Robert Jonas from Centerline Soccer. This is for Dave, but also for the organization as a whole. My understanding is 18,000 people, and I imagine this is going to be a very, very hot ticket this summer. What are the plans for ticket distribution? Maybe are there plans to have temporary seats, maybe expand attendance?
All right, just briefly, Dave, the question was regarding ticketing strategy. Clearly, Avaya Stadium, fabulous venue, 18,000 seats, big event. How are we going to manage that, Dave?
Well, I think this is another great reason to be a season ticket holder for the San Jose Earthquakes, because if you're a season ticket holder, then you have premier access to these types of events. But other than that, we are going to have ways for folks to make sure they can get to the game, and we want to make sure that the community is supported, and also that we have obviously the main events, but we also have the Chipotle homegrown game. We're going to have the events in downtown San Jose where a lot of the players are going to be involved. So, just like the Super Bowl that just came, there's going to be ways to connect to all the players and the pomp and ceremony of the event beyond just the game. And I think that's the key thing. It's going to be a week-long event. It's going to be a great way to showcase the city, and we're really happy to host such a great club like Arsenal.
All right. Thank you, Dave. Certainly we believe it will be a celebration of soccer for all of North America, with MLS being a U.S. and Canadian league. We've got time for another question from our folks out here. If we have another individual. All right, if not, we will break down for our still in video photo opportunity. One last chance before we do that. All right, thank you very much, everyone. Those who are watching on MLS Soccer, the Quakes website, and various channels, we appreciate you joining us. Looking forward to All-Star Week and the celebration of soccer and the event July 28th here at Avaya Stadium. Thank you very much. Gentlemen.